My son started dating a girl and now his grades are slipping. So I told him to break up with her, but he lied to me and sneaked her into the house while I was away. So I kicked her out and now he is calling everyone to tell them what I did. I, 50 male, am a single father to my son, 15 male. My then girlfriend got addicted to substances and walked out shortly after he was born. She is no longer in our lives. My son has been making exceptional grades, and he plays for his high school's baseball team. He is pretty good at that, though my opinion may be a little biased, lol. Anyway, that was until he started dating a girl, 17 female. They met when they were assigned as partners on a project, and I guess they hit it off pretty fast because this came out of the blue for me when I picked him up one day, and he just said, "Dad, I have a girlfriend now." I was proud and excited for him that my son was finally becoming a man. I also had a remedial version of the talk with him. Can never be too careful. They've been dating for the past few months, and they seem very happy together. But my problem is that my son's grades have been slipping. He's been skipping out on chores at the house, and missing practice/games. I'm not mad that he is dating. However, that should come after business, school, baseball, etc. So last week, I told him that he is no longer allowed to spend time with her unless he gets himself together. He responded, "But Dad, I really like this girl." I told him, "That does not matter. If you fail and flunk out of school, I don't want you seeing her, and that's final." He sighed and said, "Fine." I figured that was the end of it. Well, until yesterday, when I came back home from the store, and I found them on the living room couch together, he lied to me and said he would have a friend over to study. My son froze like a deer in headlights. I told him to go to his room, and then I turned to his girlfriend. Now I'll admit that I might have been a little stern, but I told her to get the hell out of my house and stay away from my son. He doesn't need this distraction, and if I ever catch you two together again, it won't be pretty for either of you. Then the waterworks started, and she stormed out. I went upstairs to my son, who was already on the phone, telling my mother and my sister. His aunt and grandmother have always spoiled him. I took the phone and tried to explain, but I got lectured for being too hard on him. He's just a boy, etc. I'm just trying to keep my son from ruining his life before it even starts. If he fixes his grades and everything, he can see her again. So I figured it'd be best to get an unbiased third-party opinion. Am I the butthole? Edit. Okay. So first, I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to give me this well-deserved, years-long, overdue attitude adjustment. I was a butthole in this situation. While I was in the right to be worried about my son's academic performance and his responsibilities at home, I'll admit that I let my temper get the best of me, and I acted on impulse with how I handled this situation. I shouldn't have yelled at that girl. After talking to my son, it turns out that he never told her that he wasn't allowed to see her. She didn't know, and I should have gone to my son instead of taking it out on her. My job plus the past trauma from my ex leaving are not stresses that I can self-manage anymore. I'm done lying to myself, and I will be looking into therapy soon. My son has invited her over for dinner later this week. I plan to apologize and explain the situation, and I'll try to work with them to have fair rules that will encourage my son to stop slacking off while also allowing him to spend time with her. You get more flies with honey than vinegar, and prohibition will only make my son lie and sneak around, which could lead him to doing dangerous/irresponsible things. I showed my son some of the comments, and he's been laughing his cakes off at everyone roasting me, lol. I may post another update this week after dinner if I remember. Thanks.